Jerad Spencer, Flair Real Estate. It is Thursday, March 12th, 2020, at City Council meeting. Of course, I'm going to give you those updates, and let's see. Now, actually, didn't have a lot on the agenda, but it took a little time because the City Council went through some interviews for the city manager, like we talked about last time. So they had two candidates, and they met with them, talked with them for a little spell, and then deliberated a little bit. But we'll get into that in just a little bit. Okay. One of the big points that actually Ronnie Herrera brought up was a stop sign on Sargent and Orange Street. You know, we see a lot of that traffic. So, you know, some people say, hey, we don't want stop signs. Hey, it's just another thing needed. The city's trying to get tickets and make more money. It's not the case at all. Far from the truth. It's a long straightaway. There isn't a stop from 105 all the way to Concord. And if you have children going to the elementary school or to the high school and you're trying to come out there, that is a very, very hard intersection to come through, especially with three schools coming together right there. So it's almost impossible at times to come through there. And people fly through there. Councilmember Herrera actually went out to all the residents that are right there that we know of and asked them their opinion of it, and they're all in favor. This can be a big help. So be mindful, that's going to start up here pretty soon. So just be watching out for that stop sign at Sargent and Orange Street. There should be some flashing lights and some indicators to help keep you aware of that. It will be a three-way intersection from Sargent going to Orange Street and both sides of going from Orange. So that's a really cool point. That was really one of the big topics for the meeting. Now another thing was this is minor. I usually don't go over some of the financial holdings of this city, but city has CDs. They keep an amount of money in CDs. You know, the city has to keep a running amount of money that's available to them, and everything else goes to interest-bearing account. Obviously, trying to make money on their city's money while it just sits there. But right now, they have a CD at BBVA. Now, a bank like that, you have a guaranteed FDIC insurance of $250,000. So the city obviously wants to keep a little bit less, so that way they can gain interest and still be insured. But because of the economy, because of the little virus and things going on right now, BBVA doesn't want to renew a CD for the city. There's some reasons in there, I'm not quite sure. They did mention it, but they don't want to renew a CD. So we've got to figure out another place to put that money so it is interest bearing to helping our community up. Cybersecurity. Now the city management actually has to partake in a cybersecurity training. They're gonna try to phish them in their email. What that means is they're gonna send them spam emails with links that they shouldn't be clicking, just to see if they're doing what they should be doing. But all city manager or city member managers have to go through the cyber training, make sure their stuff's secured. Okay. Now, another really cool thing is their city is actually police department, more in lines, are going to write for a grant to try to get funding about a police scanning software. Sorry, I had to rethink about what it was. Police scanning software. So this is when the cops pull someone over, they dispatch in and have them run a driver's license. A license plate, they have to call that kind of stuff in. This system will allow the police officer to do it directly from their police unit and their computer systems, and it also gives them an easier history, a little faster. So we recently had an issue with a stolen vehicle coming out of Sulphur, and it ended up in Vidor. We've had a few of these recently, kind of weird, but this police chase that ended up in Vidor PD handled it. They had tackled the guy, dangerous kind of stuff. Vidor PD was unaware of the stolen vehicle and the chase down I-10. They were unaware of what was going on because of an outdated system. So with this system, it would immediately notify our police department what's going on, because the system has a broadcast of neighboring counties or neighboring areas. So it's just a big deal for the city. Now, it's $115,000 for the program, but the grant is for 100% pay. So it means we're not going to be paying anything to help upgrade our system. Now, it does require a maintenance of $12,000 annually. $16,000 annually, I apologize, $16,000 annually. But they're already paying $9,000 for their current system on an annual basis. But it just makes our police department a little bit more efficient, easier to use, a little safer, as well as give us backtracking history of certain areas and calls. It's good all the way around, okay? Now, I've actually talked to two of this potential city manager people. So let's take a quick look at the little interviews with them. Take time, watch, learn who they are, learn who the potential candidates, and let me know in the comments below what you think of them and any other questions you want to reach out to them with. I'll find a way to get them the questions and see about answers for you. So take a look at that. Let me know what you think below. So one of our potential candidates is this guy. Who are you?
I'm Greg Parker.
Greg Parker. Now, we were talking about you've seen some of the videos, so you kind of know what we do here.
Yep, sure do.
So you've seen a little bit about our town because, well, I would hope that any person that's trying for the city manager job
would have seen the town.
Would learn a little about the town. So
exactly.
Fortunately enough, we saw some of my videos.
Yep.
So tell everybody who you are, kind of where you're from, what you do.
Okay. Well, my name is Greg Parker, and at present, I am a business owner. I own an IT project management company. I have been a city manager in Oklahoma, Hilton, Oklahoma, as well as I've been a county commissioner. I was elected 2 terms in Comal County, New Braunfels, as well as I was appointed by Governor Perry to the Texas Emergency Communications Commission. So I was a commissioner and overseeing a statewide agency. Wow. Let's see, I am completing my PhD in public policy and administration. I'm literally writing right now. I have a master's in...
So what's your thesis or your doctorate on?
On oil and gas exploration and its correlation to economic growth in the minority community.
Okay, so let's say that a little slower because
Sorry.
that pertains to a lot of what we are and who we are and what we do here. So what is that a doctorate on?
What it is it's a look at the oil and gas drilling and its industry and how it actually affects the economic opportunities for minorities within those areas in which they drill.
Okay.
So that's the fundamental core to see if there's a benefit.
That's us.
Yeah, exactly.
That's us. I don't think New Braunfels deals too much with that.
No.
Okay, so that's us. What has you wanting to be the city manager for a town like Vidor?
Okay. Well, I was a city manager for a little bit smaller town. I understand the small town feel, the small town appeal, and I like that. As you can see from my boots.
So I did see the boots.
Yeah. I adore small towns, and wanting to help the small town grow is something that I'm really keen on and interested in, as well as I know I haven't mentioned this, but I actually am certified through FEMA and have emergency management background as well. And also have done road construction, things to that effect. So I know you've had 2 floods in the last 2 years, and it's time to really look at, and I know your council's looking at that too, drainage and really helping the city through those issues, as well as emergency management and being on top of planning for the next one and looking in the future for what we can do to help out the citizens. That's why.
I'm here long term. I'm not going to pull any punches. This is my town. This is your town. I've got to ask them the questions.
Okay.
It sounds like you have a lot of experience and a lot of credentials. Is this a stepping stone for you?
Yeah. And no, that's a very valid question. And honestly, no, because for me, going into this town of Vidor, I want to go into this town to not only improve this town, but a town that I can live in and be happy to live in and happy to be a part of. And I think that's really, really important. And for me, I want to stay, and I want to make this a town that we all are happy to be a part of.
Well, I think we monopolized a little bit of your time.
Okay.
Anything else that you'd like to say, just just a random people to let people know about you or what you have?
Wow. I've authored 2 books. I've done quite a bit, but none of that pales in comparison to actually just being here and helping people. When I was a county commissioner, I helped chase chickens for one of the ladies. I don't mind doing the little stuff as well as the big stuff. And I want folks to know that I'm here and I want to help and I want to do the right thing by folks.
Well, Mr. Parker, thank you so much for taking the time and talking to our citizens.
All right, thanks, man.
Have a good day.
All right, you too.
Guys, that's it. So I'm here with the other potential candidate. This guy, who are you?
Miles Haynes.
Miles Haynes, where are you from?
I'm from Houston, Texas originally. I currently reside in Beaumont, Texas. Me and my wife, we've been there for probably the last 7 years or so.
Okay, and what do you do?
So I work in healthcare, marketing and business development. Been doing that for the last 7 years with Altus.
Okay, so Altus, so a pretty big company.
Yeah, pretty big company.
So what has you wanting or feel that you're qualified to come over for the city manager position?
Well, in 2013, I completed my master's in public administration, which is the degree that kind of leads you in the track of city management. And I've had classmates that have been city managers. My professor was a previous city manager of Vidor. And so just staying in contact with classmates is something that's been an aspiration of mine. And it's just the first opportunity I've had to actually put my hat in the ring to possibly be a city manager.
Perfect. Now you've been out here. You've been coming to meetings for a little spell, so
Yeah.
kind of got the feel for a town. What do you think is one of the biggest things that you could do as a city manager to really help us?
Well, I think you guys have a strong team. So I think that's just starting with working with the team. I think people have been moving towards code enforcement and zoning. I think the residents here just have been through Harvey and Imelda. And so coming back from 2 storms, that can be pretty hard. It's
tough.
On any community economically. I have friends that have recovered from that. So I know it can be really tough, but I think just being with the community, let them know that I'm here, I'm present, that me and my family are part of this community. But just starting with housing, I think that's the first thing. You guys have a strong school district, so that's going to be
Okay, so we're here to really introduce you to the people, ask questions why you should be qualified. You said housing. What do you mean by starting with housing?
Well, I think it's a lot of the properties in the area sometimes suffer from, you need a little bit of code enforcement and zoning. That's going to be the biggest things that I think those are priorities of the city council. So I want to work in alignment with city council, and that's my job, is just to find out what their priorities are and implement those.
Okay. Well, perfect. Well, is there anything else that you want to say?
Hey, I'm excited to meet everyone. Me and my family would love to meet you guys. That's going to be a starting point for us.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, let's get to it. Thank you so much for taking the time.
Thank you for the opportunity.
Awesome. So, those were the 2 candidates. Like I said before, let me know what you think below. If any questions you want to reach out, we'll reach out to them. When the executive session closed up or finished up, after the 2 candidates come out from the city council members talking with them, they deliberated for a little bit and they decided no action just yet. So they may talk about it a little bit more. Well, I don't know. I didn't get to talk to them, see what their conclusion was. But I'm sure we'll learn in about 2 weeks at the next city council meetings. Guys, Jerad Spencer, Flair Real Estate. If you have something that you want to bring up to city council or a question that you have, reach out, send me a message, get with me, and we'll get that stuff answered for you. Jerad Spencer, Flair Real Estate, city council meeting, March 12th, 2020. Y'all have a great night.